Welcome back to another Tiger Style podcast. I'm Keenan Haggerty with Beau Bayman. Got a couple guests with us, but not so much of a guest. Coach Maple, Freshman Mack Mauger. What's going on, fellas?
How we doing?
What's up?
We're back.
We're back again.
It's competition week. That's what's up.
We've already had some wrestling to talk about, finally.
Finally.
That's the good news.
So we'll dive into that, but let's get to know one of our other freshmen, Mack Mauger, out of Blackfoot, Idaho, Blackfoot High School. I think you guys will be impressed with this bio. Let me read this off for you real quick.
Dang, how much time we got?
Yeah, I know. It's almost a full page here, but I think it's pretty important. Ranked 68th overall recruit in 24 class on Flow Wrestling Big Board and 15th at 120 pounds. First ever 5-time Fargo champion from Idaho. Pretty damn impressive. Sorry. 4-time Idaho State champion, a Triple Crown winner in 2021 and 22. Requires a wrestler to win USA Wrestling titles in freestyle, folk style, and Greco in their age group at the same season. Mack was the first wrestler to win a Triple Crown in both the cadet and junior levels. Wrestled for the national team for 3 years, an all-star duel against Utah, and last but not least, Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award winner for Idaho.
Yo.
Whew.
Bad man.
Anything else?
That's it?
Yeah, right.
Mack, man, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So.
That's fun.
What have you wrestled in like every tournament?
Like,
Is there any that you haven't done?
not really. I about hit all of them in high school. So
Yeah, I remember recruiting him, and it was literally every week we'd call him, and he's like, I'm at a tournament, I'm at a duel. And it's like, do you take any weeks off? Like, how many matches do you have? And he'd be like, I'm about like 70.
Wow.
It's like,
yeah, I remember Maple telling me like, you ever chill out? I was like, not really.
Did you have to go a long distance to wrestle? And
yeah, traveling a lot from Idaho. So
I can believe that. I mean, we've had those stories where people drive 2-3 hours just to go see some of the top people, and that's what it takes sometimes.
yep.
What about your training? Were you traveling for training? What was that like with practice partners and coaches?
Yeah, so growing up from like even when I was like middle school, elementary even, I would drive 2 hours to a gym just to get like the best partners and coaches in the state. But yeah, I was constantly driving, so
That's awesome.
doing that a couple times a week. So
Shout out to your parents too.
yeah, for
we've
sure.
had some special coaches growing up. I mean,
Yeah.
one who you guys share a relationship, right? And talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Ivan Delchev from Bulgaria. Yeah, he was a stud. He helped me a lot. He coached me from probably, I think I was like 8 to about 14. Once I started high school, he moved. But yeah, a lot of credit to him. He helped me a lot.
Coach Delchev, man, special guy. It's awesome.
Well, and then Chris Owens, who's a bad man as well.
Yep, Chris Owens. I started working with him like freshman year. He's the Idaho director of USA Idaho Wrestling. He wrestled for Oklahoma State. He helped me a lot, especially.
Unfortunately. But he was good.
Love that. And people are going to want to know, what brought you to Missouri?
Yeah. I once I started really getting down to making my decision, had a lot of conversations with Chris, and the things that he pointed out of like what I need to be looking at in a program was what Mizzou is. So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What's your major?
I'm undecided right now.
It's the best one.
You got some time to figure that out. Coach Maple, you got a little recruiting story with Mack.
Yeah, Mack was a hard man to track down. So we had a great relationship, and we were recruiting him through the whole process. We felt like we had like a really good thing going, and out of nowhere, man, it started getting down to the nitty gritty, and he almost pretty much told us no at one point, and he was like wanting to stay closer to home, and so we were like, oh man, we lost him. And then we're sitting in a meeting. I'm like, this doesn't sit right. I was like, we've had too many good conversations. He's such a good fit. And so I'm sitting there one night. I was like, I got to call him. He told us no, but it's like the girlfriend that tells you no, and you're like, I can't go. I got to go back. And so I call him. I'm like, Mack, is this real? Like, can we still be in this? And what'd you say?
Yeah, I was like, he asked me, are you committed? I was like, no. And so he's like, so I have a chance. I was like, yep. And so
you're saying there's a chance? So immediately I called Smith. I was like, you got to get out there. And so we sent in the big dog. Smith went out.
Smith was at my house
Rain,
like that
snow,
weekend.
sleet.
Yeah, in snow.
The closer.
Closed him down, brought him in.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yep.
He did.
So, well, welcome, man. Talk a little bit about the adjustment going high school to college. You've been here. You've had your summer training. Got to work some camp. You're almost through your first semester of college. It's kind of crazy to think about. But you got to experience your first black and gold.
Yep.
What's it been like here in Columbia?
Yeah, the summer, the training's been completely different compared to what I'm coming from. I was some days, or some weeks, only training 2 or 3 times a week just because of traveling. And so, wrestling every day, getting lifts in, working out. I'm working out more than I ever have just in the short little time I've been here. School's been great. I've learned a lot of, different habits. Had to break a lot of old habits, I guess, from high school. But I've adjusted. I'm doing good. The black and gold was way fun. Felt good to, feel like finally competing again. I haven't competed since April, so it was exciting. I was excited to be there, and it was a lot of fun.
What was the toughest part about summer preseason workouts?
I think just adjusting to the amount of workouts that I'm getting.
It wasn't the SEAL training?
Oh, that was rough. Not the best swimming. That kicked my butt a little bit.
I was surprised by that.
But
You'd be a better swimmer.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Welcome to college.
Yeah. No, it was good though. It was good.
What has been the biggest challenge for you since you've been here? What's been the biggest adjustment?
Wrestling wise?
Wrestling, scheduling. You said that you've had to break some old habits.
Yeah.
Maybe what's been the toughest?
Start wrestling. I think kind of all aspects, but obviously the top and bottom. But I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like, so that's good. And then school, yeah, just scheduling and I was actually talking to my dad about this last weekend. I've never been on such a structured schedule, so just adjusting to that. But I've got to figure it out, I guess.
Once you adjust to it, it's pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
It's just making the adjustment that's hard. Kind of like when you're trying to escape on the bottom and saying, okay, I got to do something here, get out of this.
Well, we've had Coach Smith in here and some other freshmen in the past weeks, and that kind of seems to be a common trend, top and bottom. It's just a different beast at this level.
What's it like in the room? You were driving 2 hours for training. Now you go up into the room and you got partners galore that can really push you, right?
Yeah, I got people like Noah that I've yet to get an escape on.
It's coming.
I'll get there, but it's great. I love it. I love being able to be pushed like that. So I'm excited. I enjoy it.
How are things for you? We haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm getting to see all these new young guys it's the fresh blood in the room. It's always a really cool time of year because the new guys do come in and they got all these different personalities. You got, Mac, who's over there, shooting them, trying to get off bottom, but still smiling. You got Aiden Sinclair, who's just Aiden. If you've ever get a chance to hang out with him, I highly recommend it. And it's a fun time. So that new energy in the room, it keeps things fresh.
And Mac, what did you think of Black and Gold?
Yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I mean, not nervous, but definitely got that anxious, feeling ready to compete. And yeah, like I said, I haven't competed since April, so I kind of missed that. So it felt good to be back.
Coach Maple, did you have any thoughts afterwards? I mean, you guys don't really do a lot of coaching in the corner, so you're probably just observing and kind of admiring what work needs to be done or what work has been done and where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I think it accomplishes what we really wanted it to. We see, kind of get that checklist of what we need to go over, what we've seen, that different habits we have as a team. One thing I thought was really good this year was we handled our weight better. We're not a team who cuts a lot of weight, but just manage our weight. In the years past, we had just a couple guys who, they didn't get it down soon enough. But I really felt like everyone was really locked in with that. So I think that's a good thing heading into this very tough first month of the season.
That last year was kind of a big year with a lot of rule changes. And I didn't really feel like there was too many like questions or unknowns in this black and gold, and hopefully that continues over to the competition this weekend and after. But I didn't really see any like, wait, what? You know, everybody was aware of the takedowns and everything like that. Freshmen were, you know, prepared on the out of bounds and the riding time. Like, there wasn't too many question marks there with the rules. So anything that stood out, you're like, man, we got to spend some time here.
I thought actually, because I was a little worried about bottom, and I only seen a couple of guys struggle there. Other than that, we saw a lot of guys get off bottom that have been working every day on it. So I think that's was a really good attest to that. Hey, the things we're working, they're starting to actually see, and it's tough, especially for freshmen. You know, you get in the room and it's hard to see progress, right? Because we're working every day, but then you're getting going live and you're getting, you know, might not be getting out on bottom, but it's hard to see. But I think black and gold gave them a couple of guys some really good boosts in their confidence. Okay, maybe this does work, right? And then they're going to go to this next stool, the next tournament, and they're going to start seeing that growth. So,
what'd you think of the competition? Like, did you see guys really competing out there?
For the most part, there's some definitely guys that we had to kind of jump on them a little bit. Like, hey, you got to score more. And that's something, like, as a staff, like, we know we're going to hold these guys accountable when they're not doing what we know they're capable of. But I did see a lot of guys light up the scoreboard, which was awesome. And I think that we're going to keep that rolling into this next duel.
Well, we're going to dive into that. We've got first competition, the season opener this weekend with Northern Colorado. But before we do, Mac, we want to give you a chance to give some shout-outs. Anybody that helped get you here, that you want to recognize, give some love. So take this time and give some shout-outs.
Yeah, I couldn't do it without I couldn't do it by myself. Always thankful for my family, my parents, my grandparents. They've supported me a lot. And then all my coaches, we talked about them, Chris Owens and Coach Delchef. I couldn't have done it without them, so I'm thankful for them.
Well, we're excited that you're here, excited to see the future for Mack Mauger. We're going to step away and take a quick opportunity to recognize some sponsors, and then we're going to be back talk about the season opener.
This episode of Mizzou Storytellers on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast is brought to you by Shelter Insurance. Ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power 5 out of the last 6 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Tiger fans, say aloha to Hawaiian Bros, where the island-inspired flavors are positively delicious. You'll love favorites like Huli Huli Chicken, Luau Pig, and the delectable Dole Soft Serve. Hawaiian Bros, just south of campus on Grindstone Parkway, or order at hawaiianbros.com. This episode of Mizzou Storytellers on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast is brought to you by Sophia's and Addison's Restaurants. Sophia's and Addison's Restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations in Southwest and downtown Columbia and features over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers and, of course, their famous Nachos Bianco. So remember, before or after the game, stop by Addison's.
And we're back. Let's talk about some wrestling.
Finally
kicking it off, ready to go. Season opener this weekend, Northern Colorado. Beau, was there anything else that you wanted to dive into? Black and gold?
I just was going to, your overall thoughts of the black and gold. We talked about how they competed. Was there somebody that stood out to you who was like, boy, that looked good? And let's leave off Keegan because we know he looked good. Was there somebody that, hey, you know what? That guy looked pretty good.
Yeah, Keegan looked a little thicker, didn't he?
Yes.
He's filled into that weight. It's made my life a little harder trying to wrestle that guy. I really thought some of the young guys looked really good. Like Gage Walker, man, he's a special kid. Even with some of the talented young guys we do have, Gage is he's come in ready to go. That's something like usually there's a learning curve, and his has just been a lot sharper. I mean, it's been pretty impressive. He keeps a great attitude. We were doing an individual the other day, and he had rolled his ankle and said nothing. Like when we started going live, it goes all the way through the live, gets done, smile on his face. Well, he don't smile very much, but goes out, leaves the room, and comes back the next day. I see him taping up his ankle. I'm like, "What are you taping your ankle for?" He's, "Oh, I rolled it in the live yesterday." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I could get on." I'm like,
Wow.
Okay. So guys like that, they're really tough. Guys, the Conway and Joel match I would have loved to seen more of just because, and Joel came to fight. Obviously got that first takedown, and Jay put him on his back after that, so that was cool. Cam Steed did what Cam Steed does. He's going to be a force this year. It's scary what he can do when he's healthy, and I think he's going to be healthy. We got that mindset going this year. So, man, sky's the limit for guys like him. Cade Moore, who didn't get a wrestle, what I'd love to see, is in the room. I mean, Keenan, you kind of speak to this too. How good is Cade?
He just does some unordinary things it's just really fun to watch. I mean, he's special, and you try and get him to sharpen his basic skills, but when he turns loose his skills or his tricks, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. One thing that I don't want to say derailed last year was injuries. Injuries are going to happen. We know that. As a coaching staff, did you go back like over the summer or something and say, is there anything we can do differently?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, that's one thing from our fearless leader, Coach Smith, man, he's always reevaluating. He's always reflecting on how we can get better. And last year was unfortunate. We had sicknesses and injuries at the end that just really cost a lot of our season, but it was something that we took straight. We went straight to business and looked under every rock, whether it was diet, whether it was training, whether it was anything, social life. We checked over everything, and I think we came up with some good solution, and it just focused on the details, right? Doing every little thing right, making sure they're warming up properly, make sure they're cooling down properly. I mean, adding structure to all that a little bit more, and we're hoping to see the fruits of that this year.
Well, you finally get to see the fruits, hopefully, finally this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And this is... People will say, well, it's Missouri and Northern Colorado, but Northern Colorado's got a pretty formidable lineup, don't they?
They are sneaky tough. There's not even sneaky tough this year. They are good.
Yeah.
They are good, and it's kind of going to be the story of, two duels, I think. The first half is going to be really tough. They're actually favored in most of the matches, and then the back half we're favored, and so it's going to come down, can we get those upsets in the first 5, and then how are we going to get bonus points on the second 5?
Yeah, that first half of the lineup, probably 4 or 5, maybe all 5, they are favored in. But, with their 25, 33, 41, all NCAA qualifiers, a returning national champion at 41, how do you kind of handle that and prepare the team and say we've got to go out and be ready for this?
Yeah, first of all, these guys should be psyched up anyway. They're so tired of beating each other up. It doesn't matter who we put out there. They should be ready to just go eat.
Good point. So, yeah, and then a couple guys that, have wrestled Northern Colorado guys already with Cade Moore and Jay Conway against Zurban, who was ranked number 1 at one point last year, had a good match going at the Cougar Clash, and then ended up getting, I think, rode and turned late to spread the score, but he's right there. Jesse Cassat has wrestled in Northern Colorado, had a lead with him, and then unfortunately got pinned with maybe a second left.
I think he was heading for a major at the time, too.
Yeah, so these guys are going to come ready to wrestle, but like you said, our guys are ready too.
I think they're coached well. I think they do a good job there, and these guys come to scrap. But at the end of the day, we got to understand who we are. And I think as long as we wrestle ourselves and go out there, like I said, hungry, I think we should do really well.
I know Coach Smith likes to start at 125, but looking at this, do you think they might start at 165 so they know what they have to do on the back half of the duel?
Yeah, I would assume. I don't know what their strategy is going to be. Maybe they want the momentum, going through the duel, or if they want to start in the back half. We just got to show up and wrestle. Smith usually likes to start at 25, so that's what we'll go for, and we'll see what it goes from there.
What's the itinerary? Like, when do you guys leave, and how long does it take to get out there and stuff like that?
What you looking at?
I'm going to get him. He's going to say, check the app.
Yeah, check the Teamworks app, baby. No, we leave Friday. We'll get out there. We'll have a short practice in the evening, just kind of shake the flight off.
Yeah.
And then Friday, move their body in the morning, weigh in, and then the duel is at 6 p.m. I believe that's Mountain Time, and so 7 p.m. Here back in Columbia. That'll be on Flow for those that want to follow. And Flow Wrestling is streaming that, and then we'll fly back the next day. So
quick trip.
It's a quick trip. Fly into Denver, bus up to Greeley. To Greeley. I've never been to Greeley.
No.
So, you've been there before?
I have not. This will be my first time.
So,
You'll
do
enjoy
like Colorado.
it. You guys will enjoy it.
So, yep, kick things off, and then man, it's busy after that. Once
Yeah.
we get going, it's boom, boom, boom. Coach Maple with this schedule this year, man.
That's what Smith left me there.
Yeah. So November and December we're on the road, but it's going to be good. It's a tough schedule. We've got Northern Colorado and then Virginia Tech, Illinois, collegiate duels. I mean, there's some tough events in there. So
Yeah, I didn't know, Smith, that we were talking about it, just how tough our schedule is. I think we wrestle. I forgot how many teams he said in the top 10, and there was only one team on our schedule that was outside the top 20-something. I mean, that's just, it's crazy. And
Yeah.
that's a good thing. Our guys going to show up to the NCAA ready to compete.
And probably against guys they've already seen, which is something I always feel like I would rather see somebody I know what I can do against or know what I have to improve against rather than some wild card that I'm like, well, I don't know what this guy's going to do. I've never seen him before.
Absolutely.
And it's nice. I mean, you guys have put a schedule together that has variety on there. Obviously with the Big 12 schedule, but then we've got Big 10 teams coming into even our own tournament on November 9th at the Tiger Style Invite. We've got MAC opponents. We've got Ivies. We've got a variety of conferences. So the schedule is tough. We know that. You've prepared them. So we're ready to kick things off. Do want to point out that this is the last week for Tiger Style Invite tickets at the discounted price. That price will go up on Saturday. So if you're getting your tickets for the Tiger Style Invite, that price will go up this weekend. There is a discount code if you've got groups of 10 or more. That discount code is TIS 2024. So coaches, clubs, if you're bringing a group, make sure you're using that discount code.
I thought it was TSI, not TIS.
TSI. Did I say that wrong? Of course I did.
Nope.
TSI 2024. Thanks, Beau.
And don't forget that's at Staley High School.
Staley High School in
There we go.
Kansas City. So, Steve,
I'm just keeping
keep me honest.
Gotta keep 'em
online
in
here.
check.
Yeah. But it's going to be a good tournament. We've got a new team coming in, Purdue. They're replacing the Lindenwood team from last year, so it's going to be a great tournament. 10 o'clock kickoff, Staley High School. So
And then don't forget on December 11th, the Women of Tiger Style Women's Night Out, hosted by, I like to say, the Smiths, but it's Denise. It's Denise for sure.
The
And
mayor
then-
of Columbia.
Yeah, and
Yep.
then Coach Smith has to fill in where he's needed, right?
that's
Yeah.
a great event.
We
I'm
hear
so
about when
happy
you
we
go to
started
those.
that event. Denise and the coaches' wives and
Smith will tell us about those meetings, and it's basically them all talking and him just sitting in the back, just shaking his head the whole time. It's great.
I asked him. He did have the first kind of roundup meeting with them last week or the week before. And Smith, did that one go any better? No. No. So it's good. They're excited about it. I know that the wives have a good time with that event, and I would imagine it will sell out very quickly. I think last year it sold out within a week. They're going to increase a few spots for that event, but make sure you get your tickets. Those are on sale now. Search them. You can find them. I know the wives and everybody's sharing them on Facebook, so they're on social media. Go out, get your tickets. And then new event we want to share with you guys, Alumni Weekend, January 11th and 12th. The 11th evening, that's Saturday, we will have our casino night. And then on the 12th, that's our Stanford Duel at 2 p.m. So Alumni Weekend, January 11th and 12th. Save that date. Alumni, expect to see you there. We'll get a sign-up going here soon. But put that on your calendars. So.
Collegiate Duels, did you want to mention that?
Yes, big update with Collegiate Duels. That is only a one-day event for the Tigers. That is on Sunday, December 22nd. So those that are getting hotel rooms, tickets, all of the above, your travel, Tigers will compete on Sunday, December 22nd only. Okay, and that schedule will get put out on social media as well. 3 duels that day. So the other pool will wrestle the first day, and then the Tigers will wrestle the second day.
It's probably a good way to do it.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. And then
Fans
come
can
home
just-
and celebrate the holiday.
Yeah.
Or just stay and go to Toby Keith's or something.
That's right. There's lots to do in Nashville.
Looking forward to that trip. That'll be a fun trip. So, anything else, Coach Maple? Man, it's been
Excited to
awesome.
be back. Yeah. They've been kicking me to the curb. I'm kicking me out.
No, you're always welcome on the podcast. So,
Let's get after it.
Beau, it's go time, man. Competition week. Can't wait. Fly out to Colorado. So.
Oh, and if you get a chance, Jarrett Jake Hughes is also wrestling at the NYEC tournament as well this 2 weeks or week from now.
That is the same weekend
Same
as
as
the
Tiger
Tiger Style Invite.
Yeah,
So
okay.
he's still
So-
competing, and we're excited to see him go out there and do well like he's been doing.
Definitely. Got to tune in for that. So, well, Beau, Coach Maple, as always, thank you.
You got it.
We'll see you after season opener.
After it's 1-0.
1-0.
MIZ, baby.
And as always, Tiger Style, stay ready.